Hey, it's Dio from the 6 of 7, and today I am presenting on the one page marketing plan. The one page marketing plan is going to help you get your head around the marketing, all the marketing options that you have, trying to identify which one will be best for your business and best for where you are now, and help to give you some tools to evaluate your marketing and choose where to implement your marketing across your sales funnel. So I'm going to talk a little bit more specifically about that. But first, in case you don't know me, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Dio. I'm just kidding. So who is you? Who am I? Well, I am Dio. Um, Dayo. If you see it said Dayo, I get offended. So please, it's Dio. And I do online marketing, I do digital marketing, and I do consultative marketing. So I have a company called Lead Gen 180, and there I primarily serve chiropractors and other doctors in the medical field. So I do marketing specifically for them with that company. And then I also have Six Marketing, where I do some more consultative marketing. So I work with coaches, digital products, things like that. And then I have Fulfillity Hair, which is my product. So I have a supplement for hair growth. It's a system that combines supplementation and self-care and nutritional help for hair growth. So that's sort of a passion project. You can see with my short hair that hair is quite important to me, or not. It depends how you interpret it. LOL. And my love project is definitely the 6 of 7, and that's why I'm presenting this here with you guys. I am so passionate about women and women of color, coming together to do something that they want to do something different. So I want to take everything that I've learned, all of the, things that I figured out, what's worked for me, what's not worked for me, and just provide a platform to be able to share it so that we can share amongst each other. So that's the 6 of 7. So now on to the good stuff, the one page marketing plan. So the one page marketing plan is based off of this book that I read. It's called The One Page Marketing Plan. Okay. So it's by this guy named Alan Dibb. And what I loved about it is that it was super simple. So I worked for someone who has had, 20 years of marketing training and experience, and she would always tell me to do all these random things, but they never really made sense. And I feel like in this book he sort of put all of these marketing tips that I've heard of in a framework, and it was simple, it was clear, and I felt like it could apply to anyone in any business, and it was really customizable. So I read this book and I saw this plan, and I started offering it as a service to my clients. So I would get on the phone with them for an hour and a half. I would ask them some of the prompts that I read in the book, and we would sort of come up with a plan for what they should do for the next year and what different things that they could implement in the next year. So I was just like, you know what? I'm over here charging people to do this. This is valuable information. Why don't I give it to my girls for free? So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to basically distill what I read in this book, and I encourage you to pick it up. It's pretty cheap on Amazon Kindle. I got it really cheap on my Kindle. I encourage you to pick it up, but I'm just going to let you know what was in the book. So we're just going to go straight through it. It's going to take us about half an hour. So get a pen and paper ready. So if you don't know, this is the one page marketing plan. Ignore that little logo right here. That was for when I did it with my clients, but this is the plan. The plan is made up of 9 different boxes, and you'll see that they're sort of color coded because the goal is to take someone from someone that doesn't know you to a raving fan. So they provided this sort of map of how you should view your marketing. So imagine everyone that doesn't know you, they're cold prospects. So the before phase, they're prospects, they have no idea who you are. So we're going to sort of develop a plan of who we are to them during that stage. And then once they know who you are, we have to figure out a way to capture their attention and to sell to them. So then they become customers. But your marketing doesn't stop there. After they're a customer, there are still things that you can do to grow your income, and to get referrals and different things like that. So to create raving fans. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that he suggested for you to be able to do. So let's go on and get her done. So the first part is going to be the prospect. Again, prospects are people that do not know you. We're going to talk about your target market, your message, and media. All right. So the target market. Your target market is the group of people that you want to serve. And I know many of us, myself included, we have a lot of ideas. We have a lot of things that we want to do. You need to choose who your marketing is for. So if you have one Facebook page, or one Instagram page, but through there you're doing your coaching, your journal, you're doing your courses, they might be targeted towards different people. It might not really make sense. But if you can make it make sense to you, that's great. But you have to understand that we are talented and you can do many things. But sometimes where we mess up is that we're doing so much for so many different things. So take your energy, and we're going to use a method called PVP to identify what project we're going to put our energy to, because I don't want you to spread it over into a lot of things, and then you're not focused. So you're not able to see a return on your energy because it's not being focused into one thing that can make you money. So let's just pick one thing right now and use that as the basis of what we're going to craft a marketing plan around. So again, we're going to use this process called PVP. PVP stands for P, personal fulfillment. Who do you enjoy working with? Who do you not enjoy working with? V, for value to the marketplace. Do people find that what you're providing is valuable? Are they happy to pay for it? And then P, profitability. So if you're doing a bunch of things, what is bringing you the most money? And I had to do this myself, as I'm doing multiple things now. I have so many ideas. So all you do is you create a bunch of boxes with all of your different ideas. And you see, I did that here with all the things that I'm doing. So I have Legion 180, where I serve chiropractors. I have Fulfillity Hair, which is my supplement line. 6 Marketing, where I work with coaches and digital products. Goal Killer, which is my new workbook, planner, journal thing that I'm working on. So I just put these in all these boxes, and I rated them on a scale of 1 to 10. So Legion 180, how personally fulfilling is it for me? How valuable is it to the marketplace? How profitable is it for me? And I just give it a number from 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being the highest. And I do that across all of these. And that's the one that I sort of, this is going to be my moneymaker. This is going to be the one that I enjoy the most, the one with the highest number. And that's the one that I say, okay, next year, most of my energy is going to go towards this. So I want you to sit down and do the same thing. If this is me giving you permission to say no to something. I know that you have a lot of things that you want to do, but I'm giving you permission to say, not right now, or not all this energy to this project right now. I'm going to put it into this because it makes me happy. It makes me money, and people are going to pay for it. All right. So go ahead and do this. This is the first piece that you do. All right. Now, next part of the target marketing, creating your customer avatar. And I talk a lot about this at the 6 of 7. As a matter of fact, I have a little free mini training about how to do this. So when we market, we're usually trying to show our ads to everyone. So for example, I have a planner that I'm creating. I could just be like, hey, this is a planner. This is a planner for everyone. No, I really shouldn't do this. Why? So let me share these stats before I explain why. So imagine you're showing this planner to everyone. In truth, my planner is very specifically for goals and for people with business and personal goals. So if I show this planner to everyone that loves planners, or every woman, only 3% of them are going to be very interested and feel like, oh, wow, I was looking for that. 7%, they're going to be open to buying it. It really depends how I present it. 30% are interested, but maybe not right now. Another 30% are not interested, and another 30% wouldn't take it even if it were free. So you need to think about your marketing this way. The goal is to speak directly to that 3%. So don't create marketing like this is the planner for anyone that needs to plan. No, that's not what it is. It's for a specific group of people. It's for that 3%. So speak directly to those people. It's going to save you so much time and money in the long run. So that's why you need to work on figuring out who this 3% is. So how do you figure out who this 3% is? There are a ton of ways. So the first way is the training that I have. I have an ideal client marketing training on my website. If you go to the6of7.com, on the right hand side, it'll say ideal client training. I read a book called Ask by someone named Ryan Levesque. And what I'm saying here is, number one, you should ask. So if you see people that you think would benefit from your product or service, or who are buying your product or service from other people, feel free to ask them, about themselves. Get to know them, get to know what their desires are, what their family life is, what they struggle with, what their interests are. And you can do this by getting on the phone, hey, do you have a second to, chat with me for 20 minutes? I have this idea and I just wanted to run it by you since you seem like the type of person that would purchase it. Or I've seen that you're interested in planning. You can take someone out for coffee, have a coffee date. And, I'm a little shy when it comes to talking to strangers. So what I did, I was trying to start a group, the 6 of 7, a group for multicultural female entrepreneurs, and I didn't know any, and I was too shy to go up to people on the street. So I literally went into a Facebook group. I found all the people that look brown, and I sent them a DM, a direct message on Facebook, and I was like, hey, I'm looking to start a group for female entrepreneurs of color. I don't know any. I'm not sure, what you need or what you would look for in a group like this. I would love your feedback. So that's all that I did. And I mean, maybe some of you guys met me from there, but that's basically what I did on Facebook to get some information. But if you read the book Ask, he has some very concrete ways to create surveys and to analyze those surveys. Another way to really get to know your target market is to use Audience Insights. And Audience Insights is a free tool on Facebook. And I have a video on how to use that, again, in that targeting training. So I won't go into that, but that's a really great tool because Facebook has all this data on everyone that uses their website. So you can definitely use that to find out the age, the location of the people that are most likely to buy your product or to be interested in your product. So here's a little bit of information that you should be getting. What are their demographics? Male, female, white, black, age, location, just basic things. Are they parents, mothers, grandparents, motivations, desire, why do they want your product, fears, frustrations, what are their interests, what do they do when they're not thinking about your product, different tools that they use, who are some of your competitors. So this is definitely a great place to start to figure out who is this person, who are these people in the 3% that I'm showing my product to. So once you do that, now we can go ahead and sort of craft your message. You need to be able to answer with clarity and certainty within 45 minutes who you are, what you do, and who you are, what you do. But more importantly, what the problem you solve is. Now that you have your ideal customer mapped out, I think where a lot of people mess up is that their ads and their message sort of focus on the service. Like, I'm an amazing person. I have all of these accolades. This is why I can help you. And it really should go the other way. You're struggling with setting goals. I understand the struggle with setting goals because of this, and that, and that's why I can help you fix your problem 1, problem 2, problem 3. So think about some of these questions. Why should people buy this service for themselves? And when you ask this question, you're really asking what the problem is. What problem is this service solving? And then that's when you're going to say, why should they buy this service from you? And that's sort of where the path goes. So what is the problem? How can you solve, what is the problem? How does your service solve it? and where is the proof that your service can solve their problem? That's sort of the connection that you want to make. So sort of go through and answer this question. Like, you work with these type of people to help them solve these problems. That's, you need to be able to come up with a phrase or a paragraph so that your message is clear and is distinct across all of your social media and is across all of your branding. So work on that in creating a really strong message. All right, now that you've got the message, we are going to craft the offer. So again, your offer needs to acknowledge the problem of your target audience, so that 3%. It needs to talk specifically to the solution and how your solution is unique and provide proof. So to be able to do this, ask yourself a couple of questions, which product or service are you confident in delivering? So if I'm doing the 6 of 7, for example, I want to help female entrepreneurs of color. I can't help people do everything. I don't know how to open a brick and mortar business, but I do know how to generate leads online. So that's a service or a product that I'm confident in delivering. And then I'm thinking, hey, what do these women buy the most? What will give them the biggest benefit? What objections do people have before they buy this service from other people? These are things that you want to think about as you craft your offer. And from that experience of, looking at what people need and what you can give them, that's where you create your unique offer of, I'm going to create a planner, or I'm going to create a coaching service, or I'm going to create a course, or I'm going to create this physical product. That's how you craft your offer. So go ahead, reevaluate what you have on your page, what you have in your shop. Make sure you don't just have me too products. Like, I'm just going to create this because this other girl created this. That's not what makes you unique, because you're not working from your place of power. Your place of power is what you're good at and what people need. So take a second to reevaluate that. All right, once you've got your offer, now you can think about, media. And when I see a lot of people, the first place they go to is social media to do online marketing. And I understand that. But you want to make sure that whatever marketing you use, that is trackable, measurable, and specific. And I put the Hawthorne effect here because it's a really important study that I want to talk about a little bit. So here's the Hawthorne effect. The Hawthorne effect gets its name from a factory called Hawthorne Works, where a series of research experiments were done in the factory to see if they can improve productivity. So this was done like in 1924, 1932. At first, the researchers, they wanted to see if they could improve worker productivity in the factory by changing the lighting. So they would turn the light up higher, productivity would go up. They would turn it higher, they would make it brighter a little bit more, and the productivity would go up. They would make it really, really bright, the productivity would go up. And then when it couldn't, and then when they turned it down, the productivity would still go up. Then they would turn it down again. So they spent 5 years measuring all these different variables to see how it impacted the group's productivity. Some of it was like giving them more breaks, giving them more food during breaks, shortening the workday. What they found is that almost no matter what they did, every time they changed something, productivity increased. So even if the changes were just going back to the status quo, like what they were doing before, even after the status quo had been changed, it didn't matter. The productivity would improve. So what did they conclude after the study? They concluded that what gets measured changes. The simple act of looking at what you're doing improves it. Just the fact that if you go and step on the scale every single day, just the simple fact of measuring yourself every day changes, helps you improve your weight. So with that idea in mind, it's important that you choose media that ask you to monitor what you're doing. So you can't just necessarily say, I'm just going to be on social media and I'm just going to try to, show people my brand. No. That's not the way that you do social media. You need to be able to track it and to monitor it. And there are so many ways you can do that. you can have a coupon code that when you do an ad, don't just do an ad and just say, oh, I'm just going to do a Black Friday sale. No, create a coupon code specifically so that people saw either my Facebook ad or my Instagram ad. Okay, now I know that my Facebook ad brought in more people. You can do that with a coupon code. You can do that with something called UTMs, which are special Google links. They're a little bit more high tech, but that option's out there. You can use Bitly links. Bitly links allow you to track who clicks on certain links. So if you have Instagram, put a Bitly link in your profile so that you can see how many people come to your website from Instagram as opposed to Pinterest. You want to be able to track your return on investment. If you pay $50 with Facebook ads, you want to know, okay, I made $100 from this. So that means next week I'm going to spend $100 on Facebook ads so I can make $200. You want to be able to have those numbers in your head so that you can scale. You can also do this with tracking your numbers in Excel. And I'm going to show you an example of what I did. So we as in I, Dio. So I managed a marketing team for a few clinics. So we had a consulting clinic for a couple of med spas. And this is how I tracked it. You don't have to get fancy. You can just simply say, okay, Betty Sue is the client. She purchased this program. I ask her, hey, where did you hear about us? I saw your TV ad. And then here I put the cost of whatever the service was that we sold her. And then I just created an Excel sheet that it just automatically totaled everything. So when I put 3,000 here, it would count it. Okay, I purchased one of the programs came in. This was the income. This is how much I spent on that marketing. This is the return on investment. You can get some smarty pants to make an Excel sheet like this for you. I can send it to you. I'll actually include it with this training. I don't know if it'll help you, but this is what I use to track my return on investment. Okay, I spent $3,000 on a TV ad, and this month I got 3 clients that came in from it. So I'm just like, okay, if I spent $3,000 and I made $10,000, I know that this is working and I'm going to keep doing it next year. So you need to be able to make those same decisions for your business. Like, I know that this worked or this didn't work. And that's the problem I think that a lot of us struggle with, is that we don't know our numbers. And it's important to be able to know your numbers. Your numbers give you power and they also help it improve. So now that we've sort of finished talking about our prospects, we know who they are, we know what our message is and what our offer is to them, and we know that we need to choose media and need to have a system where we can track our return on investment. So now that we know all of this, you're probably asking, well, hey, how do I get these people interested in this? Like, this is all good and dandy, but I really want to know how to get more clients or more customers. So there are tons of ways to get more customers, and here is a list. Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, influencer marketing, expos, magazines, newspapers, interviews, PR, email marketing, banners, TV, in-store demonstrations, public speakings, billboards, events, seminars. So I have listed these specifically because I have experience with them, so I can talk about all of them. But one thing before I go in depth into what they are is that all of your lead capture systems, all the ways to capture your leads, they cost. And what do they cost? They either cost you money or they cost you time. So depending on where you are in your business, you either have money or you have time. So at the very beginning, you usually have time. So if you have time, you can do some of the, you can do marketing and you can get new clients with some of these, like the ones that I listed in bold. So Instagram, you can do Instagram without paying. You can do Facebook without paying. You can do Pinterest without paying. Drive traffic through your website through Pinterest, create engagement on Instagram and Facebook. You can do interviews. You can speak at different events. You may be able to even get some in-store demonstrations. So I bolded the ones that you can do with time. The other ones take money, unless you're super creative. With email marketing, it might cost you like $15, $20 for a ConvertKit. Banners, You can hang right outside of a store, billboards, events, seminars, expos, magazines. So this is just, I just wanted to put these in front of your face and to get you thinking, okay, do I have time or do I have money? And if you need a couple more ideas, I put this little icon of this book, Traction, that I read. It's mostly for startups, but I think it gives a really good overview of the different options that you have to get your first client, and to really gain traction in your business. So what's important about choosing one of these is that you can't do them all at the same time. You just can't. What you need to do is choose 1, 2, or 3. And I like to do them in sprints. So I'm really going to get good at Instagram in these next 90 days. I am going to try to get a customer in these next 90 days. And that's why the importance of it being trackable, measurable, and specific matters. Set a goal. In these 90 days, I'm going to work hard to get customers in here using Instagram. I'm going to create a system so that I can automate it. I'm going to track it so that I can see that I improve. And then after the 90 days, after the end date that you set, that's when you look to say, does this work for me? Does it not work for me? So pick 3. I say if you're starting out in that first year, do like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, or try to do Facebook, Instagram, and try to get a lot of PR and interviews, different things like that. Start a little bit slow, depending on how much time you have, and evaluate to see if that's something that you want to include permanently in your marketing mix. So again, pick up that book, Traction. So now that you've chosen a lead capture system, we're going to go ahead and figure out how to nurture the system. And I like to use this example of, are you farming or are you hunting? You're probably like, what, Dio? I'm like, no. Let me explain. Okay. Are you farming or are you hunting? So if you're hunting, back in the day, the Neanderthals, they would go out one day, maybe they would catch something. And then some days, it was a little slow. They didn't catch anything, so it's either hit or miss with hunting. With farming, on the other hand, you put the seeds in the ground, you water them, the sun shines on them, that you're going to get plants and food at the end of a certain amount of time. So that's farming. And that's what your marketing should be. You should be farming. So remember those stats that I showed you before. I showed you that pretty pie chart about how 3% are ready to buy, 7% maybe, and 30% are interested but not now. You want to get all 30%, 7, 3, okay, all 40% to raise their hand. You want all of those people to say, hey, I'm interested. So that's your new lead. And then once they say, hey, I'm interested, Dio, in your journal, that doesn't mean that everyone is going to buy. They might opt into a training, or they might opt in to download something. They might put their name in my email address, but that doesn't mean that I stop talking to them. You have to sort of create a system so that they don't fall out of the bucket, like, oh, I opted in for Dio's free training, and then I never heard from her again. Then it just fell out the bucket. You need to find something here to bring them back so that when they're interested, so for example, if I've been talking to someone all year about goals, and then come January, they're just like, you know what? Now I really feel like I need to get my goals together. Didn't Dio say that she has a goals planner? That's exactly what you want to do. You want to just be there. So there's so many ways that you can just funnel people back in your bucket, any point that they fall out. So you can have a YouTube channel, just have videos, educational videos, so that you can continue to build that relationship, to build trust. Emails, that's where email marketing is important, to be able to continue to engage and to nurture them and to give, that's what you do when you're farming. You're watering people, you're providing them sun, you're taking care of them. Same thing with thank you cards. There is a story about that guy in the Guinness Book of World Records. He has the world record for the most the best salesman in the world because he sold the most cars. And the way that he did it is that everyone he met, he always sent them a birthday card, and he sent them a card for every single holiday for years. So when they were ready to purchase a car, they always remembered that the guy that sent them 10 cards a year. So you want to be the person that remembers, that's thoughtful, that sends thank you cards, and that sends important things. You can also blog, create content where you are continuing to let people know. Like, for example, my goals journal. Continue to talk about goals, continue to talk about success stories using your services or your products. And also you can give out free offers and free things just to continue to nurture people. So this is the point where you need to think, okay, where do people interact with me, and how can I nurture them? How can I not look at it as I went to go get clients, I came back and I didn't get any today? No, look at it as I'm farming, I'm putting seeds in the ground, and I want to nurture them. All right. So now that we have a system to nurture them, now let's think about a sales conversion strategy. And this is important because, number one, I feel like women struggle with sales. Well, maybe I'm wrong, because I know a lot of people sell Mary Kay. I know a lot of people sell a couple of MLM. So it might be just me. I struggle with sales because I don't like to ask for money. I love to give. So in order to combat that, I always like to ask, what is your sales process? You need to be thoughtful of it in advance. So at least if you create a plan, it takes away some of the fear when you're just taking the next step of something that you've already thought of. Okay, when someone reaches here, when someone DMs me, then I ask them this question and ask them if they're interested in this. So create a sales process. What is your sales process? And what tools do you use during your sales process? Do you have a testimonial video? Do you send samples? Different things like that. Also think about how you can improve your sales conversion and your sales process. And I always, at the 6 of 7, I am so adamant about learning, because for a long time I spent wishing I was like everyone else, and wishing I could do as well as everyone else, when what everyone else was doing was that they were reading, they were out there practicing, they were out there doing stuff. So if you want to become better at sales, pick up a DVD, pick up a CD, read a book, or talk to someone that's good at sales. So think about how you can improve your sales process. And also, how can you create trust? Because people buy from people that they trust. People buy from people that they believe in what they're doing. So think about how you are converting all of these leads into the actual sale. So now we're in the third portion. Congratulations, you know who your market is. You captured the lead and they've purchased from you. So now that someone is a customer, does that mean that you just stop and you just like, thank you for the money, deuces? No, that's not how you go. That's not how it goes. So what you do is that you want to create a world-class experience. So how can you make it amazing, after people purchase something from you? So are you shipping a physical product? Are you wrapping it up all nice and pretty and, writing a handwritten note, different things like that? Like, how can you just make it an amazing experience? I know I saw this woman on Instagram. I want to say it's Mompreneur or something like that. She has like a start your own business package, and she just wrapped it up so beautifully, with a little bit of crepe paper. She has like her books and her CDs and the binders on top. It just looks so cute. So can you do something like that? Can you give someone a personal call after they've purchased, or make like a special video, or just make the experience of being a part of your community amazing? So if you've been in business for a while, you may have had some complaints. So think about, what have people complained about? What could you improve on? Think about your competition. What are people complaining about with your competition? How can you avoid that and make your experience with your business even better? Think about ways to deal with people that may be upset with your business. Do you provide a refund? Do you have a difficult refund process? Different things like that. And how do you provide support? Is it via email? Is it via phone? Are you quick? Do you answer your emails quickly? These are different things that people love. I I made the choice to be available on the weekends, temporarily now, for my clients. And people love that. And I think that's one of the things that makes me stand out, is that I'm available, mostly because I'm home all the time, is that I'm always available for my clients, and I'm really, 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 really care about their experience with me. So that's one of the things about providing a world-class experience. So after they've had a great experience, how do you increase your customer lifetime value? So what do I mean by this? If you look at your whole marketing plan, the place where you spend money is to acquire a new client. The cheapest way to make money is to get people who already purchased from you to purchase again. It's super simple. You don't have to do any marketing. It's just like, hey, you've already purchased, here's a little bit more, and it's even better. So think about how you can increase your customer lifetime value for them to keep purchasing from you. So once you've created a product, get to know your customer. What else do they want? What else do they need help with? So what can you add to your services or to your product line to increase your income? It's super simple, what else does your client need? Can you create continuity in your project and your product? So when I say continuity, it's something like Fertility Hair. So that's a supplement. And this is a supplement that you can take forever. So I can say, hey, you just purchased 1 month. Do you want to buy it for 3 more months? Or after 3 more months, hey, I see that your 3-month supply has finished. Do you want to buy more? Something with continuity. Same thing with like maybe a membership site. Hey, I did coaching with you about 3 months ago. Do you need more help with your weight loss coaching? I have a membership site where if you pay this amount per month, I'll give you recipes and a call a week. So think about how to increase your customer lifetime value, because again, people that have bought from you are more likely to buy from you again, especially if you provide a world-class experience. So referrals. Referrals are the number one, they're the best way to get new clients. If someone tells me, if I see a girl that has lost 30 pounds, and I'm just like, girl, how did you do it? And she tells me, I went to this doctor. This doctor's amazing. He put me on this nutrition program. It cost $3,000. If I have it, I'm going to her doctor because I've seen that it's already worked for her. And if I'm also looking for a coach and I see someone, they're doing great with their business, they say, hey, I use this coach, she really helped me, I'm going to go to her. So you want to be able to create customers that are amazed by you, that love your services. So how do you do that? You do it by creating a system that, number one, provides a world-class experience. And number two, they're number one, you create a world-class experience. The customer had a really great time and they want to open their mouths to say something. And you can also incentivize this. So referral bonuses, hey, if you refer someone, you can get this product for half off, or an affiliate program where there's some income involved in it. Like the more people that sign up through you, you get a commission of that income. You can also just ask people to provide positive reviews. We had a great conversation. You can say something like this. We had a great conversation yesterday at the end of the call. I would really appreciate if I could use that recording to show other people, or if you could send it to me in writing. If I could use it on my website or my landing page, I would really be appreciative of that. And if you have a physical product, just ask people, hey, if you have a second, can you leave me a review on Amazon or leave me a review on Yelp? And you can automate this. You can automate an email. I know I do that with Fertility. Like, hey, thanks for your purchase. Once you have a moment, can you head on over to Amazon and leave a review? We'd love to hear what you think. So any amazing stories, any positive reviews that you have, create a system around it. And you can also create a system with affiliate programs and referral bonuses. So we are at the end, ladies and gentlemen. We've talked about how to get people who don't know you to understand your message, to create an offer that speaks to them, and attract them by using media that we can measure, and why measuring is so important. And then we talked about capturing that lead and turning them into a customer and creating a sales conversion strategy, and then how to turn them into raving fans by creating an amazing experience, trying to find ways to upsell those who have already purchased from us. So, hey, you purchased this, would you also like this? And to encourage them to create systems to encourage them to refer to other people. So that is basically the book in a nutshell, the one-page marketing plan. And if you can fill out all of these, you basically have a really good idea of what you're going to be doing for the year. If you have, number one, I enjoy this time that we had together. I really hope that this helped you. If you have any questions, shoot me an email at the6of7.com. There's a part that says contact me, or I have a private Facebook group for female entrepreneurs of color. So just go to the6of7group.com and it will allow you entrance. It'll just show you the Facebook page. It'll be private. Just request to join. So I am going to end this right here. Thank you so much for your time. We stopped at just at 40 minutes, and I am so excited to meet you in the group. Bye.